Today, we are gorillas. We are apes. We're going bananas. Yes, that's right. We are talking about ApeCoin yield farming. I'm Steven, the Calculated Guy, founder of DeFi Dojo Discord, the most knowledgeable Discord in all of DeFi. And today we're going to look at all of the different yields you can get on ApeCoin, the ways you could potentially hedge it, the ways you can get your yield compounded. Let's dive right in. So I will admit that I am not personally an ape guy. I never bought the NFTs. I've never been an NFT person, but my Discord has had explosive interest in the ApeCoin yield farming. So much so, in fact, that we had to push the conversation to the forums where now there is an ape staking thread. And you can see it has been lively discussion with some of even the guys from Pendle came in to make their announcement about their own ape staking. So shout out to Pendle. That was really cool of you guys. It's been intense, right? So they're the ones who are sort of the experts. I'm just here to pass along some of the information that I have gotten from their expertise. If you want to talk to them and the experts and see what they're doing, the mathematicians and all of their research, by all means, join the DeFi Dojo Discord, jump in that thread, and enjoy. 1 month free. If you don't like it, leave and never pay a thing. Let's jump in. So if you have ApeCoin, you can go to apestake.io. You can stake your ApeCoin here. It doesn't really tell you what your yield is going to be. I believe you need an NFT to do this, one of those NFTs, and you can start earning rewards. And you might not know what rewards you're earning because there's nothing here on the dashboard until you start staking. So you go over to the @a_raving_apes analytics page on Dune. You can see that right now the yield is around 171%. Now, I will say I believe this is mislabeled. This should be APR, not APY, because this is not compounded. So when we see later APYs that are much higher, I believe it's just a discrepancy between APR and APY, here it being mislabeled. So it's pretty cool, right? 171%, 122% for year one. You see the pool percent is barely, even 7%, not even 7% full, despite there being 24.5 million ape currently staked. So this is a pretty cool page. I'll try to link it in the comments below. But the next page we're looking at is the TVL versus APY. So you can clearly see as TVL increases, right, which just means the amount of ape staked increases, we are seeing a dramatic decrease. And again, this should be APR, not APY. I don't know why they're labeling it APY, unless they're right and everyone else is wrong, which I don't think is the case. I'm pretty sure this should be APR. So they're sort of mixing APR and APY interchangeably. That's not how it works. If it's not compounded, it's APR. When it's compounded, it becomes APY. I digress. So let's say you did that and you wanted to stake your ape, but you didn't have an NFT. Well, luckily, there are plenty of places that will allow you to go and stake without an NFT, right? You can go and co-stake on Pendle, where you can see you might need to have a minimum requirement of like 10,000 to stake, but you can go and do that. And they will share 86% of their yield with you, which is really cool. It's a brilliant tactic here, right? Because they're collecting 14% of your yield for doing nothing other than having a NFT. So really, really cool mechanism here. Definitely giving additional benefits or utility to these NFTs. I'm not an NFT guy, so I'm not going to sit here and like sing their praises. I'm just saying this is a neat way in which to give utility to these things. So you can get a share of the yield. You don't have to have an NFT to do this. You will get 211% APY. You might think, oh, that seems higher than that. No. Let's convert that APY to APR, right? So we use my good old fashioned APY to APR converter. APY at 211%. That's about 113% APR. That's still pretty good, right? You're getting 113% APR without having to own an NFT. But let's say you want to get more than that, right? Okay, well, there is app.tesara.co/stake. I haven't audited all of these. I am not an auditor. I am just saying these are the protocols popping up. These are the ones giving or allowing or hosting auto compounding staking for you. So here you see the APY is 452%. That's much better. If we go back over to APR, do 452. It looks as if they're giving you like 100% of the yield. Maybe they're only taking 1% of the yield. That's really good. So you can come, bring your ape over here, stake it. You're getting great yields. It's auto compounded for you, automatically claimed and compound your stake token. So you're just getting more and more and more ape. It's getting compounded. So you're getting that APY instead of that APR. Very cool. Very simple to use. Just come over here, type in your ape, stake it, boom, done. All right, next we're going to talk about Pendle. I know I've talked about Pendle in the past. I know I did a video about them last week, which feels like a decade ago. But look, let's go to simple mode first. So I want to go to first discounts. So basically, if you wanted, actually, let's go to ape compounded first. This is very similar to Tesara, where you just give them your ape, they compounded, you're getting that 509%. What you're getting is S-ape. So S-ape is an interest-bearing form of ape. And so you stake your ape, you get S-ape in return, which is an interest-bearing form of ape, which is accruing value at 509%. And then whenever you want, you can unstake it for that full ape plus yield. So it's very cool. It's a redeemable liquid staked derivative, which is nice. So even if it goes off peg, you can always unstake it for its underlying value plus yield, which I love. And they're giving you that compounded yield. Outstanding. This is pretty cool. Shout out to Pendle. Like I said, they announced this in our Discord. Was very excited about that. But also, I was saying, well, if you have this, why not also offer it as a YTPT sort of paired? And of course, they did. Like within a day. In fact, they announced they were going to do that, and here it is. So low liquidity here, guys. If you want to play this, just remember in the complex mode, there's low liquidity. But here, it's very simple. What you do is you come in here, you buy. Effectively, you're buying discounted ape is a way of thinking about it, or you're bonding ape, and it's 49%, right? Discount, so roughly 50% off, which means you will 2x the amount of ape you have necessarily. That's what I like. This is fixed. So because it's like a bond, you lock in that rate today, and then you vest it for 196 days. So in 196 days, you will have twice as much ape as you had today. I love that mechanism. I think it's really cool because it's a bet on the other yields going down. I mean, it's roughly 171%. So really, instead of betting on today's 171% to last for 196 days, you're literally just buying it at that yield and then just waiting, and you have locked in that yield. So you will get that 171%. Like necessarily. It's a cool play. I like it, but you do have to wait 196 days for this to accrue to total value, right? You will have to wait to get that. Still, pretty interesting play. Of course, I would want to Delta Hedge, but Delta Hedge is super expensive. We're going to get to that in a second. Let's go back to simple for a second here. Look at the pools. If you want to LP your ape, right, you could just enter your ape here, and you're getting, roughly 421%. Now, most of that's coming in terms of the SY interest-bearing token, which again is that S-ape asset you get over here, right? So half of that LP is going to be S-ape, which is that interest-bearing token, and then half that's going to be the principal token, which is also interest-bearing. So you're not really getting any swap fees. You're not getting any incentives. This isn't that much more interesting than. Actually, it's technically a little bit worse than just doing the ape auto compounder. However, yesterday, Right Side from Pendle announced that tomorrow, today he announced this. I can't zoom in because it's Discord. Today he announced that incentives will start tomorrow. So tomorrow you might see this 421% go to something sort of obscenely high to really incentivize this pool, because there needs to be liquidity here to make these derivatives more interesting. Once you have some liquidity, that's when Pro becomes the place to be, because what you can do over there is you can trade the yield or trade the principal token, YT yield token, PT principal token. Go watch my Pendle video if you want to understand this more. But basically right now, you could take your SAPE, right? This yield bearing asset, come here, split it into YT SAPE and PT SAPE. And then you could, and your PT SAPE will always accrue to the amount of your SAPE initially. You take the amount of APE that it's worth. And then the interest, you could sell the interest, right? You could sell the interest today, which is really cool. And then just wait for your PT to actualize. So you can sell your yield, your 507% APY. You can sell it today for a discount, and you can sell that yield for 251% APY. So you're effectively selling your yield today, sort of on a bearish bet on that yield. I think this is a really cool tool. This is super, super interesting. And then you could either wait for the vesting to finish, the maturity to finish, and then you have your PT plus that yield that you sold. Or you can buy the yield back later when the implied APY goes down. You can sort of like short it and then redeem for your SAPE in total. Something you can do. Things to consider. If you don't understand what I'm saying, watch my Pendle video. It'll make it a lot more clear. So anyways, that's Pendle. I'm not gonna keep going on about it. Let's move on. There's also, right, let's say you don't want to stake. Let's say you're kind of interested in playing the volatility, because right now the wrapped Ethereum ape pool is getting a lot of action. So I love dei-lab.xyz. This is a tool shown to me by FloatLocker. He's sort of our resident expert in concentrated liquidity in the DeFi dojo. And I understand why he loves this tool. So basically you go over here, you type in ape, right? And you see a number of pools, and you probably want to sort by TVL or volume. Volume definitely favoring this ape wrapped Ethereum pool. Pardon me. And you can, sort of see where that concentration is, but basically also see where the liquidity density is, how the price has been. A bit of an anomalous price action there. What I'm going to blow through this right now because I'm going to do a video on this tool in the future. But basically, if you go down here and look at the APR within this range is 201%. Now that's a pretty good APR. And remember, it's also being paid in wrapped Ethereum. So it's wrapped Ethereum and ape in this LP. So as long as you're in range, you're getting interest in terms of both of those assets. That's pretty cool. And it sort of limits your exposure to ape to an extent. It's 78% of the time it's been in range. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's rather neat to consider as one of the other possibilities for your ape. Okay. Next, I want to talk about shorting or neutralizing, right? Because this is a crazy yield. You probably want to neutralize it if you're like me, or maybe maybe you are an ape and you don't want to neutralize this at all. That's totally fine. There are plenty of places on chain to attempt to neutralize it. If you go to Pika protocol, you can neutralize there. This is a perpetual swap, much like perp.com, I think I would compare it. Well, actually more like Gains. I'd say it's more like Gains. And if you scroll down to the bottom, what you get is the ape funding rate. Where is it at? They take it off? No way. Did they remove ape from their... Maybe they did. Used to be you could trade ape down here. Apparently they removed it. But let me just check to make sure that's true. Who knows? Maybe it was too volatile. Pika did experience quite a bit of intensity before due to, no, it looks like they still have it. So here the funding rate is quite low. This is roughly 0.01% per hour. So you can annualize that. Pretty intense funding rate, I'll say. But you can also look at central exchanges, right? Using CoinGlass. You can see also pretty intense funding rates between negative 0.14% and I guess probably the best being negative 0.03%. Binance showing a 0.01%. That seems unrealistically high. You would get paid to short. I would definitely check that myself to see if that's accurate. I can't use Binance because I'm in the US. So if you can, certainly check Binance first. Of course, Binance has a ton of FUD right now. So maybe you're hesitant to use it. Maybe Binance is not within your risk reward. Who knows? dei-dx unfortunately doesn't have Ape. That would be a great on-chain option, but Pika does. I want to say that perp.com might as well. And so if we go to perp.com, actually, what I would do, and what I will do is do decentral. Okay, I need to go to my drive because I do have historical funding rates for decentralized perpetual exchanges. Then we go to perp.com. We're going to sort of see what our options are, see if this is a decent place to short. I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's probably not. Perp.com is one of the biggest perpetual protocols. It's probably going to be about the same as TradFi, if they even have Ape. Control find Ape right there. Okay, so about negative 116% to short in the last hour. Last day, negative 94%. Last week, negative 52%. Technically better than most exchanges, and I'll show you why. If we go to my extending funding rate comparer and look at the last 5 days, all of them are, we can do last 7 days to really compare it to perp, right? All of them are like negative 110. So this negative 110, perp negative 52. So perp is better, I guess. But it's getting worse. You can see negative 52, negative 94, now negative 116. It's probably going to continue to approximate that 170 where it's at, eating and eating away all those yields while people try to arb this opportunity. So you could try maybe to borrow some Ape from KuCoin. You will need some margin to do so, and there's not much to borrow, like $20,000 here, a couple $100 there and there. The interest rates are not bad, actually. But the terms are very low. You probably want longer terms, but with longer terms, there's almost nothing to borrow. So, but there's something to borrow. Like if you're a smaller fish and you use KuCoin a lot, this might be a great option for you because these are pretty decent rates. So definitely consider KuCoin borrow if you don't mind exposure to KuCoin. All right, guys, that's it. You can all go Ape. I am kind of interested in trying something here. I feel like there's maybe one or two opportunities that get me excited. I just need to find out where I want to hedge this. So while I do that and I think about that, you guys should go and join the DeFi Dojo Discord, jump down in that Ape thread, meet the real experts. I am a phony compared to the expertise going on in the Ape thread. They're talking about all the analytics and the tokenomics and the estimations and the math and this and that. I'm just a guy who sort of skimmed that thread this morning, pulled out the major talking points to show you guys the opportunities because I figured that you would want to know where you can yield your little gorillas. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful... Oh no, wrong one. There we go. Now I'm Christmassy again. Have a wonderful rest of your day.